Yes, hello students. So in continuation of the previous video, we talked about meaning of nutrition. We discussed about autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. So as you know, in case of autotrophic nutrition, organisms prepare their own food. They obtain some inorganic substances from the environment, and using these inorganic substances they prepare their own food. So example we took of autotrophic organisms were plants. All the plants are autotrophic. Beside that, some prokaryotes like cyanobacteria and some protists are also autotrophic. So if we look into the autotrophic mode of nutrition, the best example of autotrophic mode of nutrition is seen in plants, right? And all of you know that plant prepare their own food using the process of photosynthesis. So let's today learn about some basics of photosynthesis. So when we say photosynthesis, the term photosynthesis have two parts, that is photo means that is light. So synthesis means to synthesize or to prepare. It means plant prepare their food using sunlight. So all of us know that ultimate source of energy for the living organisms on the earth is sunlight or radiation energy. So plant has got ability to convert this solar or radiation energy into chemical energy, or in other word we can say this solar energy is converted into organic substance, organic material, and on this organic material all living organisms depends. So photosynthesis is one of the very important biochemical reaction takes place in our environment. Life is exist because of the synthesis of organic material, and this organic material is synthesized by a reaction or biochemical process that is called the photosynthesis. The term photosynthesis, photo means light and synthesis means using sunlight, using radiation energy, synthesis of food or organic substance. So let's see how the plant prepare the food or organic substance. So let's see. First we try to define the process of photosynthesis. So all of you know plant carry out photosynthesis in presence of very unique thing, that is the chloroplast, or this is type of plastid present in the plant cell, and chloroplast contain a pigment that is known as chlorophyll. So presence of chlorophyll pigment, chlorophyll is a chemical, it is a pigment. That pigment help in absorption of radiation energy. So presence of chloroplast as a cell organelle or presence of chlorophyll pigment make the plant autotrophic, or this help in synthesis of their own food. Now beside chloroplast, all of you know that plant use water from the soil. So that water is also one of the very important component to convert the radiation energy into the chemical energy or to synthesize the food. Now next thing you already know, here to synthesize something there is need of energy, and this energy is obtained from sunlight, right? Or in another word we can say this is radiation energy, that is from sun. Radiation energy is used, right? Radiation energy along with water, and one more thing we have to remember, that is we have learned in previous classes or your junior classes also, that is plant use carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. So please keep in mind, plant prepare their own food using chlorophyll pigment, they use water, and they use sunlight or radiation energy as the source of energy to carry out this reaction, as well as they use CO2, carbon dioxide, to synthesize the food. So if we look into, we will discuss the role of these all component one by one. Before that, if we want to define it, we must know what plant prepare using these things. So plant prepare glucose as the primary product. Please remember, glucose as the primary product of photosynthesis. So we know that plant prepare glucose by process of photosynthesis, and what is used, what is present in process of photosynthesis are chlorophyll pigment, water, sunlight and carbon dioxide. Out of that we have to remember, this is very important to note here, water and CO2 used or act as raw material. This is very important to note. To carry out any biochemical reaction, to carry out any reaction and to synthesize something, there should be substrate or there should be raw material, and this raw material for the photosynthesis are water and the CO2. So we should write here separately raw material. This is, we have to remember as it is, because in exam also they ask component essential for photosynthesis are these four. Out of that, which are two raw material? This is very important. So please remember, raw material are water and CO2. Now you will ask why these are two are raw material. Please keep in mind, raw material or reactant are the substances which are directly found in the product. So all of you know the formula of glucose is C6H12O6. So here carbon, hydrogen and oxygen is present. So please keep in mind, here water molecule and the carbon dioxide molecule react to produce the glucose. So these two components directly take part in reaction, and these two chemicals, these two important reactant react, and that result in the formation of glucose. So please keep in mind, this is very important point to note here, raw material of photosynthesis is water and CO2. Now we have to think about what is left, chlorophyll and sunlight. So they do not directly take part in reaction of photosynthesis. Sunlight act as the source of energy and chlorophyll help in absorption of sunlight. So whatever substance that is part of reactant are called raw material, and part of reactant are water and CO2. So if we define now photosynthesis, so we can define it as process in which glucose is synthesized. It is a biochemical process in which glucose is synthesized due to reaction of water molecule and carbon dioxide molecule in presence of chlorophyll pigment and sunlight. So this is very interesting to note here, that what is synthesized is the glucose. What is used as the substrate or as the raw material is water and CO2, and here in presence of chlorophyll pigment and sunlight. So we can define process of photosynthesis as so this is very important to note here, carbon dioxide and water are the raw material. This is very important to note here. So we can define photosynthesis as the process, it is the process in which glucose is synthesized using, so here what is being used, using carbon dioxide and water, then in presence of chlorophyll pigment and sunlight. So here you note, in this definition, please keep in mind what is used, carbon dioxide and water is used. So these two are the raw material, and here we have mentioned in presence of chlorophyll pigment and sunlight. So these four components have their own role to synthesize the food. So from this we can summarize it. What is produced in photosynthesis is the glucose. What is used during photosynthesis is CO2 and water. And what is essential to absorb the sunlight, to harvest the radiation energy, is the chlorophyll pigment. And what acts as the source of energy to carry out this reaction is the sunlight. So if we write this definition in form of reaction, and that is called overall reaction of photosynthesis. So overall reaction of photosynthesis we can write, this is also very important to remember, overall reaction. So we can write this definition in form of, reaction also, and this reaction is known as the overall reaction of photosynthesis. So let's write the overall reaction of photosynthesis. So what is here used? So used, please keep in mind, here carbon dioxide is used and water is used. So these two are raw material, these two are reactant, these two are substrate of photosynthesis. We will balance the reaction later on, and this is the direction of reaction. And what is present here, please remember sunlight, and this sunlight is visible light. We will write wavelength also of this sunlight. What type of sunlight is used here? Sunlight. And so all of you know that what we write on the arrow in a reaction are not reactant. Presence is essential. They have very important role to play, but they are not directly used as the reactant. What is used as the reactant is nothing but the carbon dioxide, and water is used as the reactant. Now what is product? The main product, all of you know, is the glucose, C6H12O6. This is glucose, is the main product. Beside that, all of you know, during photosynthesis oxygen is produced and water is also generated. So if we balance this reaction, 12 CO2, 6 H2O, 1 molecule of glucose is produced, 6 molecules of oxygen is produced, and 6 molecules of water are regenerated. So this is the overall reaction of photosynthesis. This is also very important for the exam, but from this reaction we can draw many things, that carbon dioxide and water act as raw material. Raw material means that take directly part in the synthesis. These are used. Okay, and this is, all of you know, this is the main product, right? That is the glucose. Then beside that, CO2 is used and oxygen is generated, and this oxygen is released into the environment. So all of you know, during photosynthesis plant produce oxygen. One more thing we have to keep in mind, this glucose in plant, as earlier also I mentioned, synthesized as the direct product of photosynthesis. This is the product of photosynthesis reaction, and this glucose later on stored in form of, this is very important, in form of stars. Please keep in mind, it is stored in form of stars. So this is the reserve food in plants. So during photosynthesis glucose is synthesized, but this glucose is after synthesis transported to the different part of the plant body, and in the different parts of plant body it is stored in form of the stars. So please keep in mind, stars is the reserve food in plants. Stars is the stored or reserve food in the plants. So this is the overall reaction. Now here chlorophyll pigment, which is present in the chloroplast. Beside chlorophyll, other pigments are also there. These are called accessory pigments. And sunlight. If you look into the important point here, sunlight, this sunlight is visible light, and please keep in mind the wavelength of the sunlight which is used in photosynthesis is generally 400 to 700. So here we should write, this is the wavelength, this is for your knowledge, you can remember wavelength, and this is visible light. Visible light have 380 to 680. Okay, so but please keep in mind that plant use visible light for photosynthesis. This is very interesting to note here. Visible light for photosynthesis. Next, let's discuss in some detail about the role of CO2 and from where plant obtain the CO2, role of water molecule. So as we know that these are used as the raw material. Sunlight, how sunlight is harvested, where the chlorophyll pigment is present in the, what is the role of chlorophyll pigment. Okay, so let's discuss these four components, important components of photosynthesis reaction. Yes, so next look into the site of photosynthesis. Site means where the photosynthesis takes place. So this is very interesting to note here that in plants photosynthesis in generally we say takes place in the all green parts. So what are the green parts? The main photosynthetic part in plants are leaves. Beside leaves, please keep in mind, photosynthesis also takes place in all other green parts. They may be sepals of flower, they may be green, any other, this may be green stem, sometimes even the root which are green, which are assimilatory, they also take part in photosynthesis. But the main part of plant which take part in photosynthesis are the leaves. Now how leaves are more suitable? Are more suitable for the photosynthesis? Leaves have expanded surface, that is the leaf blade. Okay, so this get maximum exposure to the sunlight. Leaves not only act as the site of photosynthesis, leaves also help in trapping or harvesting of the sunlight. Okay, so leaves harvest, they act as the solar panel, they absorb the sunlight or the radiation energy, and there some components are present in the leaf cells. We will specify the name of cell also. So first of all we can say site of photosynthesis, green parts of plants. Okay, and here mainly leaves. So all of you know these are mainly these leaves takes part. So leaves are the main component, main part of the plant which take part in photosynthesis. In the leaves, if we look into the anatomy of leaves, there are presence of certain cells. These cells are called palisade cells. Please keep in mind. So this word you can remember. We are not going in much detail. These cells are called palisade cells. These are present. If we look into the cross section of leaf, you will find there is presence of some cells. These are called palisade cells. Beside palisade cell, there are other type of cells. These are called mesophyll cells, spongy mesophyll cells. So these are the cells that take part in the photosynthesis. Now please keep in mind, these palisade cells are rich in cell organelle that is called plastid, and these plastids are chloroplast. Most abundant type of plastid. In class 9th you have learned about the cell organelles. This is double membrane cell organelle which take part in photosynthesis. So chloroplast is the major site of photosynthesis. Chloroplast, these are the plastids, or in other word we can say these are the green plastid. They provide green color to the plants. Green plastids, one of the largest cell organelle present in the plant cell. Now how chloroplast help? This is the not only site, this have presence of a pigment. These pigments are called photosynthetic pigments. So all of you know the name of photosynthetic pigment. The main pigment, the major pigment present, major pigment, all of you know, major pigment is chlorophyll. Major pigment, that is the chlorophyll pigment. Chlorophyll, chemically it is a protein. Pigment means it is a color. So it appear green because it reflect back the green color part of the visible light. If when you will study the spectrum, you will come to know that green part of the visible light is reflected back. That's why plant appear green. Chlorophyll pigment, chemically, remember its chemical nature is protein. All the pigments are proteinaceous in nature, and this chlorophyll pigment have a central atom, that is the magnesium. So these chlorophyll pigments are rich in mineral, that is the magnesium. We have studied in class 9 with the mineral nutrition. This contain very important This is very important for your NTSC and all exam. Magnesium is present as the central atom in the chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is a chemical and chloroplast is the cell organelle. Chloroplast is a plastid and chlorophyll is a chemical, or this is a pigment. This is very important to remember, pigment. This is major pigment. Beside that, in plants there is presence of some accessory pigments also. We will not go in more detail of accessory pigments. One example you can remember of accessory pigments. So these accessory pigment help the main pigment in absorption of sunlight. Various spectrum of sunlight is absorbed by the various type of pigments. So one of the example you can write, that is, these are called carotenoids, and also we can write here xanthophylls. So this is only for your knowledge, you can remember these are accessory pigment. They also absorb some other color of light or some spectrum of light, and they transfer this light to the chlorophyll pigment. So overall function of this pigment is very important to note here, harvesting. In other word, we can say absorption or trapping of sunlight. That trapping of sunlight, harvesting, absorption of sunlight. This is very important to note here. Most important point you will remember. So chlorophyll pigment help in harvesting or absorption of sunlight. Harvesting or absorption of sunlight. This is very important. So in very short answer they may ask, what is the role of chlorophyll pigment? So in single word we can say chlorophyll pigment help in harvesting. So harvesting word is very important, or absorption of radiation or solar energy. Okay, they act as the units which absorb the sunlight, and this sunlight is used to carry out the reactions. Next move to the, so we discussed about site, we covered what is the role of chlorophyll. Now next point is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide play very important role because carbon is the atom which is directly used to synthesize the glucose that make the carbon chain, right? So carbon dioxide, so all of us know when we talk about carbon dioxide act as raw material. Okay, this carbon dioxide undergo reduction or carbon dioxide reduced. Okay, reduction of CO2 produce glucose. Okay, so this word you can remember, CO2 reduces to produce the glucose. Now from where CO2 is absorbed? What is the source of CO2? So you remember it, source of CO2 is atmosphere. So this is very important. CO2 is taken from the atmosphere, right? How it is taken? It is taken from the atmosphere. This is very simple word. How plant take the CO2? Plant takes CO2 with help of uptake, with help of the structure present on the plant body. These are called stomata. So all of you know stomata. Stomata are tiny pores. Tiny pores. So remember it, CO2. CO2 is one of the raw material. CO2 is reduced to produce the glucose. Source of CO2 for plant is the atmosphere. This is very important. And plant uptake CO2 through the stomata. Stomata are the tiny pore present on the epidermis of the green part of plant. These are mostly present on the leaves, but these are also present on other parts wherever the epidermis is present, right? On the all green part it is present. They are the fine tiny pore, microscopic pore which cannot be seen by the naked eyes. We will look into the structure of stomata also. Now by what process CO2 is taken? CO2 is taken up by the plant by the process of diffusion. This is very important. Plant takes CO2, that is simply we say exchange of gases, but process involved in taking of uptake of CO2 is the diffusion, right? So let's look into some detailed structure of the stomata. Stomata are very important component that already know. Stomata also help in removal of excess water in form of vapor, and that is known as the transpiration. Stomata play very important role in plant physiology. Okay, but here in photosynthesis, stomata help in intake of carbon dioxide, or this help in exchange of gases. Oxygen produced is released through the stomata, and carbon dioxide is taken up by the process of diffusion. So quickly let's look into the structure of stomata. Stomata, mainly the most important part of stomata is, all of you know, bean shaped cells present. These are called, I am going to stomata which is the open stomata. This is, I am drawing the stomata which is open, right? So these bean shaped cells, okay, these bean shaped cells are called guard cells. These cells are called guard cells. So all of you know these guard cells are modified epidermal cell. Guard cells are modified epidermal cells. These cells are, please keep in mind, rich in chloroplast. So here we can show there is presence of large number of chloroplast. Okay, so these cells are called guard cells, and these guard cells are rich in chloroplast pigment. Okay, chloroplast cell organelles. The cells present are directly attached to the guard cells are called subsidiary cells, or these are the epidermal cells. So let's label it. These cells are called guard cells. These are called guard cell because they regulate opening and closing of stomata. So let's talk about guard cell. Regulate opening and closing of stomata. Closing of stomata. These guard cells are, please keep in mind, these are very important point, modified epidermal cell. These are modified epidermal cell. This is there in our practical also. So please keep in mind these are modified epidermal cell. These are bean shaped. Okay, and these help in opening and closing of stomata. This opening is called stomatal opening. This is called stomatal opening, or sometime we use word stoma also, right? These are chloroplast, right? This is nucleus, this red color nucleus of the guard cell. These cells are called epidermal cell, or these are called subsidiary cells. These cells also play very important role in opening or closing of stomata. That mechanism is not in our syllabus, so we will not discuss about how the stomata open and close, right? So this is about the structure that help the plant to carry out exchange of gases, to take the CO2 and to remove the oxygen. This is very important. But sometime what happen in night, when there is no sunlight, process of photosynthesis, the photochemical phase of the photosynthesis stop. In that condition, plant release carbon dioxide also. When carbon dioxide is not used in the process of photosynthesis and there is no photochemical reaction in which oxygen is generated, in that condition plant also release carbon dioxide. Particularly plant release carbon dioxide in the night. But overall you have to remember these structure or stomata help in transpiration. So two functions you can remember. These help in transpiration, and you can remember these help in exchange of gases. Beside that, it also help in regulation of body temperature in the plant. But these two functions you have to remember. Transpiration, loss of water in form of vapor through the stomata is known as transpiration. Excess water is removed, and this transpiration help in maintaining the body surface temperature of plant. and that also help in exchange of gases, particularly the carbon dioxide and oxygen are exchanged through the stomata. Okay, so this is about the how plant take the CO2, what are the structure involved in intaking of CO2. Besides CO2, plant also take many minerals which are used to synthesize different chemicals in the plant body. So one mineral we are going to discuss, this is very important, that is nitrogen. Plant also uptake nitrogen. So plant take nitrogen from the soil. Even large amount of nitrogen is available in the atmosphere. So plant, please keep in mind, nitrogen from soil, this is very important. Plant do not take nitrogen from the atmosphere, because atmospheric nitrogen is a molecular nitrogen, and this nitrogen is not directly used by the plant. These are not form of nitrogen which is used metabolically by the plant. So plant obtain or uptake, okay, nitrogen from soil. Always remember that take nitrogen from the soil in form of compound. Okay, so remember this is taken in form of nitrite and nitrate. That much only you have to remember. So 2-3 point we have to keep in mind. Plant take nitrogen from the soil. So source of nitrogen for the plant is soil, not the atmosphere. And plant take nitrogen from soil in form of compound. They always take compound form of nitrogen, and this compound form name only you have to remember, that is nitrite and nitrate. These are related to nitrogen fixation. So atmospheric nitrogen is fixed in form of compound, that is nitrite and nitrate, and plant uptake these compounds nitrite and nitrate from the soil, and they use these nitrite and nitrate in this is very important, use in amino acid synthesis. Amino acid, or in other word you can remember, amino acids are monomer of the protein, amino acid are protein synthesis. Okay, so these are very essential in synthesis of enzymes and all type of proteins in the plant. So please keep in mind, nitrogen source is soil, not the atmosphere. Nitrogen is taken off in form of nitrite and nitrite, that is the compound form, and nitrogen used by the plant to synthesize amino acids and other proteins. This is very important, amino acids and other proteins. Okay, so this is how the plant take the carbon dioxide, plant take the nitrogen and other mineral. Most of the minerals are taken up from the soil, and plant use this mineral in the synthesis of different chemicals along with the food. So next let's talk about the water. That is very simple. All of you know that source for the plant, major source of water for the plant is soil. Okay, plant take water from the soil with help of root hairs. All of you know, so root hair are the main parts of the plant body which help in root hairs absorb water. Okay, so simply, okay, water, all of you know, used as a raw material, one of the very important raw material of photosynthesis, please keep in mind, it is used as raw material of photosynthesis. So source of water for plant, it may be sometime atmosphere also, but in exceptionally some plant which have the hygroscopic root or some hygroscopic organs, they can take water from the atmosphere also, but mainly water is taken up from the soil. Okay, with help of root, on the root hairs are present. So root hair are the main component which help in absorption of water, and water is used as the major raw material in process of photosynthesis. Okay, so let's come to the last component which is essential for photosynthesis, is the sunlight. Okay, this is very important. Sunlight. Okay, so you know there is availability of abundance of sunlight, but the sunlight that fall on the leaves, okay, and out of that the sunlight which is absorbed by the plant, we consider that as the photosynthetically active radiation. Okay, so only the radiation which fall on the leaves and absorbed by the chlorophyll pigment is used to synthesize the food. Okay, so sunlight, particularly photosynthetically active radiation. So what type is used? PAR, photosynthetically active radiation is used by the sunlight. Wavelength already I have mentioned. Wavelength you can remember for your knowledge, that is visible light, and 400 to 700 wavelength is used in the photosynthesis. And if artificial light is there of this same wavelength, plant can carry out photosynthesis in the artificial light also. Now this most important point here is, what is the use of sunlight? It acts as source of energy. This is very important. To carry out the process of photosynthesis, source of energy in process of photosynthesis. How it acts as source of energy? Sunlight is absorbed by the chlorophyll, and in the chlorophyll certain reactions takes place. So broadly we will look into this reaction. The first step of photosynthesis, we will when we talk about the mechanism of photosynthesis, first phase is the photochemical phase, in which radiation energy is absorbed and this radiation energy is converted into the chemical energy, and this chemical form of energy is used to synthesize the glucose, and this synthesis of glucose come under the biochemical phase. So let's next talk about the mechanism of photosynthesis. Okay, so we will cover the mechanism of photosynthesis. Yes, so till now we talked about what are the different components used in photosynthesis. We discussed the role of chlorophyll pigment. We talked about the carbon dioxide and water as the raw material, and sunlight used as the source of energy. So let's quickly look into the mechanism of photosynthesis. This is very complex mechanism, but here we will look into only basics, how the radiation energy is converted into the chemical energy. So broadly it have two phases, that we say photochemical phase, or in another word we can say light phase. Okay, or sometime, or technically it is known as light reaction, right? Okay, and second very important phase is there, that is known as the biosynthetic phase, right? Or this is also known as the dark reaction. Technically it is known as dark reactions. You must remember there are two steps, light reaction and dark reaction, or we can say photochemical phase and biosynthetic phase. So as word itself is self-explanatory, that photochemical, in this sunlight is used. This will takes place in presence of sunlight. That's why it is known as photochemical, or this is known as the light reaction. This takes place in only presence of light, but this reaction basically depends on light. Okay, this phase depends on the light. It takes place only in presence of light. That's why it is known as the light phase, light reaction, or this involve the sunlight. That's why it is known as the photochemical phase. But here this is light independent. Please keep in mind this phase is light independent. There is no need of light, because this depends on the product of, this phase depends on the product of first phase, that is the light reaction or the light phase. So let's quickly look into first the photochemical phase or light phase. So you think what will happen in the photochemical phase? As a story we learn, sunlight fall on the chlorophyll pigment. Chlorophyll pigment absorb the radiation energy, and this absorbed radiation energy used to break the water molecule. So here most important event takes place is the splitting of water molecule, and that splitting of water molecule is known as photolysis. So let's look into the major steps of the photochemical phase. Okay, then we'll talk about the biosynthetic phase or the dark reaction. So in photosynthetic phase, first of all you have to remember that takes place is the absorption or harvesting of radiation energy. So all of you know what carry out the absorption of radiation energy? Very simple, chlorophyll pigment. So chlorophyll pigment which is present in the chloroplast absorb the light energy. This is called harvesting of light energy. Okay, so first of all absorption or harvesting of the radiation energy. This absorbed radiation energy used, okay, harvested energy used to split water molecule. So here you have to note that here water molecules are used, water molecule are splitted. So this splitting of water molecule is known as photolysis. In other words, we can say this is photolysis. This word is very important for exam also. Photolysis. Photolysis means splitting of water molecule. This is very important, splitting of water molecule. Okay, splitting of water molecule is known as photolysis. We can write this in form of reaction also. So here we can write water molecule. Okay, this water molecule in presence of light, okay, break. So when water molecule break, please keep in mind proton, that is the hydrogen is released, okay, along with this electron is released, and please keep in mind also what is released? Oxygen. If we balance it, okay, 4 electron and 1 molecule of oxygen is released. So this is very interesting to note here. This is very important that oxygen produced during photochemical phase. This is very important point to note here. Oxygen O2 generated, okay, oxygen is generated during photochemical phase. By what process oxygen is generated? By photolysis. What is photolysis? Breakdown or splitting of water molecule. Breakdown of water molecule in presence of sunlight is known as photolysis. What is the product of photolysis? Proton or hydrogen ions, high energy electrons, and molecule of oxygen is generated, and this oxygen escape into the environment. So this is very important to note here. Oxygen produced during light phase or photochemical phase. Now what is the source of oxygen? Earlier it was thought that O2 is produced from the CO2. Source of oxygen is the carbon dioxide, but this is wrong. Source of oxygen is the water molecule. This point you have to note. O2 liberated from or generated from water molecule. So please remember the source of O2 is nothing but the water molecule. How water molecule produce? It undergoes splitting. Breakdown of water molecule produce the oxygen. This is very important point to note here. O2 produced during the light phase, and O2 is generated by splitting of water molecule. Now what is there in our hand? We have two very oxygen liberated or released into the atmosphere, water molecule broken down that result in the hydrogen ions and electrons. So now the energy harvested by the chlorophyll pigment is there in the hydrogen ions and high energy electrons. These electrons or protons are used. In continuation of this we are going to write, okay. So this is used. This is very important point to note here. Next point we can write, these are used. So hydrogen ions and electrons used to synthesize ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and NADPH. This is very important to note here. ATP and NADPH. Please remember, these hydrogen ions and electrons are used to synthesize ATP and NADPH. These ATP and NADPH are end products. This is very important. End products of light phase. This is important for exam also. ATP and NADPS are end product of photochemical phase or the light phase. ATP is produced. ATP is the energy currency and it is produced by phosphorylation of ADP. So we are not going to detail what is the phosphorylation, but you please keep in mind energy present in proton and electron used to synthesize ATP and NADPS, and ATP and NADPS are the end product of the light phase or the light reaction. Please keep in mind these are the end product of light reaction. Now these ATP and NADPS have large amount of energy, and this energy or these end product of light phase will be directly used into the dark phase or the biosynthetic phase, in which carbon dioxide is reduced, which is taken from the atmosphere. So please keep in mind, nowhere we have mentioned the carbon dioxide in the photochemical phase. Okay, we have talked about water, we have talked about the sunlight, we have talked about chlorophyll, but nowhere we have mentioned the carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is used in the dark phase or biosynthetic phase. So in biosynthetic phase, simply please keep in mind ATP and NADPS are used to reduce, this is very important, to reduce the carbon dioxide and to produce the glucose. So let's quickly look into the biosynthetic phase also. So let's look into dark phase. Why it is called dark phase? Because there is no need of sunlight. This is light independent or biosynthetic phase, right? Biosynthetic phase. So please keep in mind what happen in biosynthetic phase. ATP and NADPS, which are high energy molecule. Please keep in mind ATP and NADPS, which are high energy molecule. These are end product of light phase. ATP and NADPS used to reduce or to carry out the reduction, to reduce carbon dioxide. Okay, reduction of carbon, here reduction of carbon dioxide produce glucose. So please remember this word is very important, reduction. This is reduction. So reduction reaction is very important. So in biosynthetic phase, ATP and NADPS used to reduce the carbon dioxide. To reduce carbon dioxide, I should write there so you will not get confused. Reduce carbon dioxide, and reduction of carbon dioxide result in formation of glucose molecule. Okay, so this is how the glucose, the end product, is produced. And if we now look into the overall importance of photosynthesis, that photosynthesis help in formation of glucose. Glucose is the main end product of photosynthesis. Along with this, photosynthesis produce the oxygen. Photosynthesis also help in absorption of carbon dioxide. It balance the oxygen and carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere that use the carbon dioxide. Okay, so these are the some basic concepts related to photosynthesis. This is how the plant prepare their food. Okay, thank you.